What's happening, people? Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome back to another video. Big up to everybody who's tuning in right now. Big up to everybody who's locked in. I don't know what I'm doing with this lamp, but listen, it is what it is. I'm trying to get some lighting in here, man. You know what I mean? It's mad in the dunya, so if it is too much, let me know. I might just keep it. Yeah, big up to who's right now. Please smash a like on the video if you're watching. If you're not subscribed already, then I don't know where you are from, mate, but you should be subscribing because it's on only subscriber mode. So listen, you know what I mean? It is what it is. We have to get the spammers out somehow, and that's the only way. I think for me, I don't know about you, Statman, but life's been good on subscriber mode because them trolls and them kind of like weird spammers are not there anymore. So listen, it is what it is. But introduce the guests one by one. Charlie first. Big up to Charlie for coming on. Big up to you, man. Thanks for coming on, mate.
No, thanks a lot for having me again. Good night last night, and hopefully another win on Sunday.
Absolutely. And man like Statman Baines, probably 3 streams in a row, man. Listen, the work rate from Statman Baines when United are on a win and they're on a roll is unbelievable, isn't it?
I said this before, yeah. Like streaming's only fun when there's positivity going around United. Like the day Oli got sacked, I was streaming for time. I didn't really care. Like today, I'm buzzing again, beating Arsenal. Feels good.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm buzzing. Charlie, are you buzzing, mate? You know what I mean? Big win yesterday.
Very good.
You know what I mean? Against the noisy, social media friendly Arsenal. You know what I mean? But massive win. You were there yesterday. I thought Old Trafford was rocky last night. Big up to everybody who was there. And yeah, man, what a feeling, man. What a feeling last night, eh?
Yeah. Great game. To be honest with you, it was a bit of a strange. I thought the first half we were quite poor. Fred gave the ball away. About people were shouting all sorts in where I was. About Fred. He gave the ball away a lot of times. But the second half was a complete change. Obviously, we had the De Gea, the goal that was given by VAR that I didn't see it, and then obviously Fred actually stood on De Gea, so that was a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, it was obviously Ronaldo came up clutch again. I know Statman is a big fan of Ronaldo, so we'll have something to say in a minute. But yeah, Ronaldo again. I thought Diogo Dalot played very well, actually. I thought defensively and going forward, I thought he was very good. And yeah, Arsenal. I put out a tweet earlier today that the AFTV say that Man United are very poor. Well, if we're very poor, we've been in a very poor situation. We still managed to beat you. So what does that say about you? These Arsenal fans, they've been giving it the big un, for a long time. Wow. If you don't beat Everton at the weekend, and if we beat Crystal Palace, we'll go ahead of you.
Exactly.
So, and we've got a good run coming up. So Arsenal will be going right back down to where they belong, mid-table, mate.
Absolutely, exactly where they belong. Hopefully that Triple Eight Sports sponsor at the end of the season is still intact, mate, because I tell you what, they might need it. Victor Liang says here, watching Ralf press conference is literally like a university class. Professor Rangnick, the revolution has begun. You know what I mean? Big up to Victor Liang. We're going to touch on that as well. But yeah, man, Statman, how you feeling after yesterday? When Charlie's talking about the Fred slander, listen, the amount of people that were going in. And you know what? Rightly so for the kind of the kind of passes he was making, and sometimes lack of concentration. But with me, yeah, I just always think that Fred always tries. So I give him another chance. I keep saying, don't worry, he'll come good in the second half. I mean, unbelievable, mate, unbelievable. But how are you feeling after yesterday? That Ronaldo again, man. The soos are getting louder in the stadium. I'm telling you right now, Charlie, the soos are getting louder, mate.
Yeah, I can't lie, I said it. Yeah, you see when Ronaldo scored his second goal. Like, the entire stadium, the players doing the same celebration. Like, that moment, like, you guys were in the stadium. I don't know how it would have felt for you lot. That was unbelievable watching it, like, from home and stuff. So, you did this thing. But, like, Fred, like, touching on Fred here, this is what I say. It was like the good, the bad, the ugly of Fred, like I say.
Yeah.
Like, the first 25 minutes, Fred was shocking.
Shocking, mate.
But then he was involved in 2 goals for us. Like, this is so... it's frustrating with Fred, but, like, at least we know there's a player in Fred. Like, we're seeing something with Fred. And no matter what, like you said it, no matter what he tries getting on the ball, he tries playing those forward passes. Even though the first 25 minutes he's giving the ball away for fun, at least eventually he kind of like his mindset doesn't drop. Like he don't sulk around when the passes are not going his way. He just continues to try.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we love him. That's why for me, the fan, it's like Marmite, isn't it? You either love him or you hate him, and you're also going through that roller coaster of emotion with Fred. You know what I mean? That's why for me, I never really fancied him when he came out of the football club because I thought he was erratic. I didn't know what his style was. Is he a box to box? Is he a sitting on? I didn't know, so I didn't really kind of like warm to him. And then but the fact that you know, you kind of like he keeps on going and he's relentless. I love that in a person, man. Someone who keeps on trying no matter what, man. And for me, you know, it pays off with Fred. But I think for me, yesterday, I thought, were we lucky? I don't think so, man. I thought we never looked like we were kind of under siege. It was a few moments of pressure here and there, but never a siege, you know, and pressure. So for me, you know, listen, it's a massive win, man. And you know, obviously Carrick has left the role. Are you surprised he's left, or you know, because apparently they said that you know, Ralf Rangnick said that he was trying to persuade him to stay. But I have a feeling that he'll go to Tottenham or something like that. You know, under Conte maybe. You know, because they've got Ledley King and them guys, and obviously the Tottenham reunion might suit him. But what do you want to say about Carrick, man? He's left now the club.
Well, to be honest, I was a bit surprised that it happened so suddenly after the game. But you know, I think Carrick, you could tell when he gave that the interview after the game, he sounded knackered. He sounded absolutely shattered. I think mentally and physically, probably from everything that's been going on. And I think he's going to take a big sort of time out now. He said he promised his family some time out. And fair play to him. You know, he's the only Man United manager I think ever to have an unbeaten record or never to get beat.
It's mad, isn't it?
And he's played 3. You know, let's not get it twisted. You know, Villarreal away, Chelsea away, and Arsenal at home. 3 tough games. So we can. I know we had a laugh about Arsenal, right? But we have a very poor record against Arsenal recently. I think we hadn't won in 6 games or something like that. So he's done very, very well, and he's stepped down, and he's done what the best is for him, and probably the best for the club in the long run was for him to step down. But also, you know, we gave the coaching staff a lot of stick and Ollie through this period. But Carrick, you know, was it during Ollie's reign that these coaches weren't allowed to have a say on team selection, etc.? Because we know the coach Ollie didn't coach. We know Ollie just picked the team, and Carrick has shown in the last few games that he's got some bottle. He can make big decisions. He's dropped big players to make sure he gets the result and make the team more balanced. And we still got, obviously, I think Rangnick spoke very well today about sort of the balance and control, etc. But Carrick's actually done some things that Ollie couldn't in terms of dropping big players. So he's shown that he's got some credentials. And, you know, I wish him all the best because he's a very admirable person, you know, and hopefully he goes on to do good things. But I was a bit surprised it happened so suddenly.
Anna says here that he doesn't believe Rangnick was trying to convince Carrick to stay. Well, we'll have to. I don't know if people's intentions are right. Big up to Faiz. He says, wish him good luck on the exam tomorrow. Good luck to you, Faiz. Hope you do well, and whatever the result, don't worry. You know, you'll do well in life anyway. What's that, man? Would you have kept Carrick either way?
I would have kept him over people like Mike Phelan and Kieran McKenna. Because at least with these 3 games, I know, like, you touched on, like, making those big decisions. I think right now, because he was only there for, like, 3 games, it's kind of easy to drop people like Cristiano Ronaldo because you're not going to face any repercussions kind of thing, innit?
Yeah, true.
But I feel like, even like I said this, the first 2 games for me, our defensive structure was a lot better. At least it's something with Michael Carrick seen where I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's probably never going to be Manchester United manager again. But in the Championship, like, he needs to start his managerial career somewhere. Championship, let's see if he can work his way up, kind of thing. Because at least with Carrick, there's something in there now. We've seen it. 3 games. No one expected us to be unbeaten in all 3. No one. Like, getting a point away against Chelsea was a ridiculous result for us.
Yeah. Is it coaching or is it better players, though? You know, he's not going to get better players at a kind of club where he has to rebuild. You know what I mean? Are we being a bit overpraised, Charlie, do you reckon? Or do you think that there was some kind of good elements to his kind of game where you thought, you know, you can take that principle somewhere, can't you?
Well, you know, what's been frustrating for me since April, I thought that Ollie wasn't I know you've been talking about Ollie for a lot of time, Saeed, like for many years. But since like a few months, since I say in the past year, I've become a lot more, because when you're a young Man United fan, you know, I look about 12, but I am 19 at university, right? But like before I got to about 18, I just supported the team, and I didn't really think about the tactical side of things. But then it just clicked with me, and I just started to think a lot more about the tactical side of things, and I started to question things a lot more. And when it got to April time, I was like, right, this is okay. I don't think this is working out. And the main reason why I wanted Ollie to go is because we were doing the basics wrong. We were too easy to beat. We were too easy to score against. And it's just like, honestly, the main thing about Carrick that actually we shouldn't be impressed by was him doing the basics right and setting us up to be a solid team. And that's what Ollie couldn't do. You know, when we played Liverpool, two of the best fullbacks in the world. And we spoke before that game side, if you remember, before the Liverpool game. And I think I did a little fan camera or a little video before the game saying we'll lose this game against Liverpool because we've played Rashford and Greenwood up against Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. And it just makes no sense. We had Bruno, Rashford, Greenwood, and Ronaldo, 4 forwards against one of the best teams in the world. You're going to get beat. You've got not enough players in that team who want to keep the ball and who understand their roles, who can be compact off the ball. And that's what Carrick's done well. That is what Carrick has done well. You know, against Chelsea, as that was said, none of us expected to get a result. None of us expected to really play that well. And we didn't play particularly well. But just having the basics, Rangnick come across today and said, we lack control, we lack balance. We've all been saying this for months. And how did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer not notice this? And if he did notice this, why didn't he act on it? Because he didn't try and change things. He kept the 4-2-3-1. He kept playing the same forwards that weren't playing well, even though they get a goal or assist. This is happening for ages. And that's what Carrick has done well. And we shouldn't think that this is a good thing. If you get the point I'm making, this should come as a given at any football team at any level. Absolutely. Make yourself hard to beat. And that's what we've been too easy to beat. And Rangnick has been fantastic in his press conference today. The first thing he said, we're conceding too many goals. And that is the truth. And hopefully now we can start, being more solid. And as he said, being proactive and not letting teams come at us and, try and control the game on and off the ball.
Start man yesterday, man. I thought Dalot was, for me, man of the match. I thought he was relentless. He held his line. I thought Telles held his line. Maybe a few nervy moments, but even when they got him behind, did you see that tackle that he made? I think you would have seen it, Charlie, more than me, when he made that tackle.
Martinelli and then the little passion.
Yeah, the passion one. I like that one because you get me, like, that was a sign that he wasn't going to get beat and he was looking that he was up for the challenge. And that's where, for me, he's been at his kind of worst for me, where he gets in behind and then he looks a bit average. But I thought yesterday he was unbelievable, and he made them kind of last-ditch tackles. And, when you look at the team now, it looks rejuvenated, that man. It looks like everyone's up for the battle. You're looking at Dalot doing the Sue with Ronaldo, Sancho doing it, you know what I mean? Like, that looked like the team that was, kind of like, should have been the team 2 years ago, or a year ago. That should have been the team idealistically, like the team aesthetically to look at. Dalot on the right, Telles on the left, you know what I mean? Like, and he just begs the question of why didn't Ollie play these guys, man? You know what I mean?
Who knows? But I think for the players here, they have a point to prove now. Like, it's not the same comfortable side. Like, for example, Wan-Bissaka plays every single game under Ollie. Dalot could have come in, dropped a 10 out of 10, and Wan-Bissaka's playing the next game anyway.
That's it, facts.
That's why I feel like right now, like even like under Michael Carrick, he made quite a couple of changes. Like even like benching Ronaldo, for example, it seemed like everyone was part of the squad. Like even did Donny van der Beek not start the first game? Everyone was involved in the Michael Carrick era kind of thing. Under, like, I know it's 3 games, but like, you know what I mean, innit? So I feel like that's why the players are more willing, more happy the way it looks right now. But as I said, under Ralf, we'll see, because a lot of these players might not be. They'll be given a chance.
Yeah,
but they need to prove it now. There's no more excuses.
Yeah. Which players are you thinking, Charlie, that will thrive and kind of like be, what Rangnick looked at yesterday? I mean, is there any players that maybe let him down or would kind of seem to have let him down or didn't put themselves in glory? What were you thinking, yesterday in terms of the performance yesterday? Did anyone for you look like they gave a kind of a hint that they would be under Rangnick, or do you reckon everyone would be fresh starts for everyone?
Well, I think I was going to put out sort of today. I thought my predicted team for Crystal Palace, and I was getting my little formation ready. I was going 4-2-3-1, and then I completely forgot we got a new manager. Like we've got no idea whether we're playing a 3-5-2, a 4-3-3, a 4-2-2. We've got no idea what he's going to do, but no clue what he's going to do on Sunday. So the first problem we've got is when we're picking players that we think might play under right, we don't even know what formation we're going to go with. I think yesterday, I think that De Gea or Henderson, I think is a bit of a tricky one for Rangnick because I understand, and I'm a big David De Gea fan, but I also know that Manchester United need a new goalkeeper when we talk about moving forward in the years to come. And as much as I love David De Gea for his shot stopping, we all know that if Man United want to win the title, if you look at City, Chelsea, Liverpool, the effect that the goalkeeper has had. I know they've got fantastic coaches, systems, but the effect that the goalkeeper, Mendy, Edison, and Alisson have had to completely transform the way those teams play and the amount of points they save them, that's transformational stuff. And we do need a new goalkeeper within the next couple of seasons. That's definitely true. And for me, Dean Henderson isn't that keeper either, by the way. I think we need a complete new first choice.
You look at PSG, they've got him done a over in when they got Keylor Navas in there already.
Yeah, that's the thing. We have to have these conversations. As much as I love David De Gea, and I'll never disrespect him, I'll never turn him. I'll always give him support. But there is going to be a time where we do need that new keeper. But it's like we can talk about positions. We just don't know who's going to play because will we want Henderson in goal because he's more of a sweeper keeper? We can play a high line. Will Rangnick prefer that, or will Rangnick prefer a better shot stopper, etc.? So for me, from yesterday, I think Dalot for me was probably the best player. I know Ronaldo. Obviously, Ronaldo's Ronaldo. Ronaldo's going to play under Rangnick.
The goal.
He's going to play. But like, for what Rangnick is going to do, because we know we're playing young boys next Wednesday, so that will be the option, maybe to experiment some of the youth players, to maybe even give Phil Jones a run out if you want to.
Oh no.
And that sort of stuff. And that sort of stuff. So I think on Sunday he'll stick with a very strong team, and then I think on Wednesday he'll sort of make a lot of changes. But for like Rashford recently, I know he got an assist yesterday, but Rashford, a good player, but for me,
how was he on the right though? I don't understand why he was on the right, man.
Yeah, we kept having these conversations in the ground, and I said to the people in front of it must be some sort of defensive like Sancho, because Sancho's more aware defensively. They must have been more worried about Tomiyasu on the right. That's why they played Sancho on the left. Just for
you know what I thought it was, I think how Tomiyasu doesn't really get forward; he kind of tucks in. And then you see, for example, Tavares gets forward. I feel like they were trying to look for that ball over the top to Marcus Rashford when Tavares pushes forward. Yeah, that's my only reasoning. Because I think there was a one point here where Victor Lindelof got the ball and Rashford made a sprint forward. And I'm like, maybe this is why they're trying to exploit Tavares. But even then, we didn't really do that.
Yeah, true. To be fair, though, you know what I mean? We copped with it well, but we also got forward when we had to, man. But that transition will get better under Rangnick, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There was moments where I thought, it was a bit stagnant in terms of Sancho again, maybe trying to try everything on his own. That bit from Fred was the only kind of brilliant move that we had in that first half. You know what I mean? Big up to Ali building. You know what I'm saying? And then, your guy, Ronaldo, mate. Listen, what can we say more, man? Inevitable, man. He's inevitable, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, it's like one thing there is with pressing here, but I think we're just kind of maybe like, analyzing that too much, like there's more to the game than that. And I think, okay, Ralf Rangnick's whole game is based on getting the ball and winning it back. But when you look at the quality, man, and the right place, right time, that goal, it's just, life with for United not to play Ronaldo, it's unheard of, man. It's unheard of.
You ran out of words to describe him. That's what it is with Cristiano Ronaldo. He's just that guy. Like, people keep talking about his work rate off the ball, Yesterday, he was running the hell out. Like, he was chasing everything down, even like towards the end of the game. I think he was limping for a bit.
Yeah.
It looked like he was injured. Still chasing everything down. And
that should not have been a foul, by the way, Gabriel. That was not a foul, Gabriel. When he tried to...
When he nearly got away as well.
Yeah, he nearly got away, man.
Could have been
pressing there. Will we talk about that? I don't know. You know what I mean? That was pressing for me. But, I think Ronaldo in the team, for me, it's crazy the kind of, when the feeling outside the ground, you know what I mean? Like, it was just crazy. Charlie, I don't know if you got off, yeah, but the Old Trafford atmosphere last night. Listen, if anyone can't make it to Old Trafford, yeah, then fair enough, yeah. But it was unbelievable. When the club's winning, yeah, and we're trying to get somewhere, man, it's unbelievable. And I feel like that. I missed that last night. People just enjoying themselves, happiness, everyone just together, man. And I felt like, yesterday we were just kind of proud to be a United fan. We come out there, big win, everyone's smiling. And I thought, we got the win, man. So for me, it's brilliant. I'm going to touch on Ralf Rangnick now. What did you make of his press conference, Charlie? For me, I was watching it, and I woke up at 8:30. Yeah, so not 8:30. I set my alarm off for 8:55. Yeah, this is how bad it is. Yeah, set my alarm for 8:55. I woke up. I got on my phone because I was on the app, right? And I was tired, but then as soon as he started talking, I was wide awake. Like seriously, like it's crazy, isn't it? Like I was literally, my eyes were like that, and then as soon as he spoke, yeah, in the manner he did and the assertiveness was crazy. And I thought he controlled the press conferences. He said everything that for me I wanted to hear in terms of like getting the club back to where it belongs to, and kind of like analyzing what he wants to do. It was just mad, man. It's mad.
Yeah, he uses class, doesn't he, Ralf Rangnick? It just the way he conducts himself. No, I love listening to his interview. To be honest with you, I haven't watched press conferences for a long, long time, because I felt that under Ollie, I just couldn't watch them because every week something that you couldn't believe could ever be said kept getting said. It seemed to get worse every week. One day it was DNA and this, that, the other day it was this, it was that. And I just couldn't listen to it. I just thought it was drivel and nonsense, PR. I just thought it was absolute nonsense. This Man United DNA, etc. So yeah, listening to Rangnick was like a breath of fresh air today. It really, really was. And you could tell. We've seen the pictures of him in the stands last night. He didn't look very happy. I think he came out with saying.
I didn't see. I've not watched the highlights, by the way. That's how busy I've been. I've actually not watched the highlights, but yeah, go on.
But yeah, he didn't look happy, and I think he said already these are not the games you want to be involved in as a coach, like a 3-2, etc. And he's right. He's definitely right. If you look at the way Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, obviously you don't win every game, but in lots of those games, those three teams control the game. They can't control it from minute 0 to 90, but they control the game as much as possible. They do not allow the opposition a foothold into the game at all. And under Ollie, too many times we attacked, we gave the ball away, we didn't press, and we didn't sit back well, so we weren't doing one or the other, and the other teams passed through us way too easily. And you saw it last night with Arsenal's second goal. How easy was it for them to pass through us for that second goal where Odegaard scored? So easy. And this is what Rangnick will hopefully be able to change. We're not saying that we're gonna win every game, but the way he spoke, talking about control of the game, is real. I was really happy with that, because that's something I've been saying for months. We just do not control games. And everybody laughed at me the other day on the Unfiltered podcast when I said a title charge, but I'm telling you now, the fixtures that we've got, the fixtures that we've got.
I think Statman, his eyes glint up there. Statman, you're not thinking something else, are you?
No. Listen, I want to be shameless here, but realistically, just get me top 4 in it right now. If you said Champions League, I'm more confident on the Champions League than the Premier League.
It's a lot to do.
Yeah, you know what the Champions League.
There is a lot to do, but I think Musa put it perfectly. We want to get to the end of the season. It's all about closing the gap. That's what it's about. We're 12 points behind. We're not going to win the title. I'm not saying we're going to win the title. I'm just saying I want to be in April, in May. We've definitely got top 4 secured. Like we're in a fantastic position for top 4. And we're still within 5 or 6 points of the others, because that's what it's all about. And I'm not saying we're going to win the title. I'd rather us finish 4th and win the FA Cup, rather than, challenging for that. Because I know what Statman says about, winning a cup. And that is obviously the main aim, I think, getting top 4, winning a cup. But, we just need to keep closing the gap, and we need to get as close as we can this season. And then next season, obviously, the proper challenge comes in. But we've got a very, as Lewis has just commented, we've got a very good couple of months of fixtures.
Absolutely.
So we need to not take anything for granted and just try and get all of them won, as many as we can, and just close the gap to the top.
Absolutely, absolutely. Big up everybody here. We've got over 400 odd people in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video, people, man. You know what I'm saying to you. I know, you know what I mean, that like button is hard to press here, but you know what I mean? It takes 2 seconds, people. So please like the video. What did you hear from the Ralf Rangnick press conference, Statman, that impressed you? You know what I mean? What was it for you that impressed you?
No, like it was just his charisma. Like, you know, like you can tell, like he has a bit about him that we didn't really see under Oli. And another thing, like it seems like straight away he's going to give everyone a chance. I think he even spoke about Martial, and that's a player I've doubted a lot. He said Martial's going to play. He said people like Mason are going to play. And this is what you want when a new manager comes in. Everyone gets a fresh start. And I keep saying it. It's a clean state for all these players now. We doubted these players. You got now 6 months now until the end of the season. There's no excuses. You got a coach. Prove it now.
Yeah.
Prove it. And yeah, no robotic answer. Like you could tell this guy has a bit of a personality about it. It was so sick to see.
Yeah. You know, and the questions have to be tough now. You know, I mean, no more questions about, like, certain questions that Ollie would get, you'd have to maneuver it right, because if you come across a bit snidey, or, everyone's going to be like, oh, you're the one that disrespected the legend. You know what I mean? You're the one that disrespected Ollie, and they couldn't.
That was also great. Like when he was talking about yesterday's game, he wasn't really like saying we were unbelievable even though we won. Like you could tell he was unhappy at the game. That's the best thing. Like he knows, for example, when we hear Ten Hag speak, Ten Hag sides might have won 4-0, but he always says he wants more. He wants to improve.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a similar thing with Ralf. Even though he won, he ain't happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Statman and his beloved Martial. I don't know about that, mate, but you know what I mean? It's crazy. But what about you, Charlie? What impressed you the most in terms of this press conference? He talked about the playing style. He talked about certain aspects that he wants to change and wants to, deliver. And do you think he's not just a good talker? Do you believe that he'll prove it, or what's your overall opinion?
Yeah, well, he's proved in the past that he's not just a talker. What he's actually done and the way he's sort of had an impact on the game. The best thing was about the control. I think the best thing was about the controlling football matches. It's just something we haven't done for so long. And also, I think he mentioned balance as well, didn't he? Balance and control, which are two of the most vital things sort of in football, really. And it's just something we've never had. People have been saying for months about, Ollie hasn't had the squad and all this rubbish. And I've said for all along, Ollie's built the squad. And I said it's a very unbalanced squad. Not all of it's Ollie's fault, but it is a very unbalanced squad. But a good coach, a good set of coaches and a good manager can get this group of players challenging for a title. I'm not saying winning the title, I'd say challenging for the title. And I think what I'm most interested in with Rangnick is his consultancy role. Of course, this season's a bit of a free hit for us, and this is why This is why I'm saying don't rule out Man United to do something interesting this season, because there's no real pressure on we've got a free hit now for the rest of the season. Ronaldo won't accept bad standards. Bruno, Pogba, De Gea, these players. It
was a free hit for Ollie, remember, when he took over Mourinho, because we didn't finish fourth and we slid badly. Remember when we lost to Cardiff, Huddersfield, draw? It was a kind of a down spiral, and it was a free hit then. So,
but this is why nobody really expects us to do a lot at the moment. Like nobody's really expecting us. We're expecting to get in the top 4. That's about it. Nobody's really expecting us to do a lot, and that could be a good thing in football. And these players won't accept these crappy standards we've had for a long time now. These players, we've had too much of this nonsense now. Now's the time to start playing. Now's the time to act as a team on and off the ball, and that's the most thing. I just want to see a team. I don't. If we lose games, I'm not bothered. I just want to see a football team acting like a football team instead of just a group of individuals, because that's what it's been for too long. Just a group of individuals.
Statman, when the coach said about, not leaking in goals in, we need to control the amount of goals. He doesn't like to see that kind of a 2-2, at 3-2, you know what I mean? Like, he wanted to become 3-3 kind of game. Does that mean, is that kind of a hint to you that maybe you might not see, lots of goals, but you'll see that controlled football. You know, under Van Gaal, it was kind of controlled. Do you know what I mean? What do you think you'll see now from United? Goals, more goals, or do you think the individuals will kind of get goals anyway? So we got better individuals anyway.
I think this is what people need to remember, and I keep saying this. People keep thinking Ralf is that attacking manager. It's all about goals. Yeah, you see that 18-19 season in the Bundesliga. Leipzig had the best defense in the league, better than Bayern Munich. They conceded the least amount of goals. So even when people keep saying it's all about goals, yeah, he's like, he wants that defensive structure spot on, and his Leipzig team proved that.
We like that. Van Gaal was that as well. We didn't concede many goals at the Van Gaal.
Yeah, but I feel like him and Van Gaal are very, very different in terms of the way they're playing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But even then, at the same time, he had one of the best defensive records, and I think his team still scored the fifth most goals in the league. So, like he said, it's all about finding the right balance. He kept talking about control. You're not going to control a game with Scott McTominay in midfield in the nicest possible way. You're going to see a lot of change in the midfield area, which is a massive positive. So I'm very, very excited going forward. Like someone said, remember Klopp's first season was a struggle. Like, let's be honest, we all know this from now until the end of the season, it's not really going to be like clean sailing in my eyes. We will probably pick up injuries because our players are not used to playing the football that Ralf wants. None of our previous three managers have been the same as Ralf. That's why I keep saying, be patient with Ralf. That's why my aim is just top 4 and let him like implement his philosophy.
Yeah, top 4. No doubt with him, man. You know what I mean? When you look at the fixtures we've got, coming up, Charlie, you know what I mean? Do you think them, like, I always say, like, I think for me, we should take it game by game. I really do, because I think we're going to get, you know what I mean, a lot of life that come down in terms of, the feeling disappointed. Because for me, I think the pressure's off for me, expectation from Ralf Rangnick. I think it's like more just kind of see what he delivers rather than me just saying, Ralf Rangnick's going to do this and he's going to do that and we're going to win this. And I just wanted to come in, settle us down, get us playing well, coach well, and then, we can go from there. You know what I mean? I think that's the best kind of baseline. What do you see the expectation for him to come in and do, and what's your kind of feeling?
Well, the Glazers top 4, isn't it? Yeah, top 4 is sort of what he needs to do. But what we need to do is lay the foundations for next season. That's what we've got to do. And whether Rangnick, we've been told he's going to have a decision in the next manager, deciding the next manager. So hopefully if he has a role in deciding the next manager, hopefully he can we can get that sorted out as soon as we can towards the end of this season. So then that new manager coming straight away, we can get signings. We can get sort of what style of play they're going to play. Or is it Ten Hag? Is it Poch? Who is it? Then we sign 2 or 3 players that may fit that system, etc. We let 2 or 3 go that we don't think will fit that system, and then we're ready. Because with Man United, it's always the same. We all know what it's like. We get to the end of the season, the players go away. We get back in July, pre-season. We get to pre-season and we haven't signed anybody yet. So then we have to rush. And then when we sign players, they're not ready for the start of the season. So then we have to bed these players in. It's just the structure needs completely changing. This club is so unorganized. It's unreal. So hopefully Rangnick, we can get some organization. And I know transfer deals are complex. And I know that, you can't sign all the players you want before August, etc. But we need some organization. We need some structure, some real sort of plan in place of what we're going to do. And hopefully Rangnick brings that so we can build for next season. And then next season, I said this before, Rangnick has come in, and the reason why he's come in, and the job of Manchester United in the next 2 years is to pounce when Pep and Klopp leave. That is what Manchester United need to do. We can win a title when Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp leave, which will be in the next 2 or 3 years, I imagine. Manchester United, that is our chance then to win the title. And we need a manager to come in, we need a plan in place, and we need some signings that fit the right system, which we haven't had under Ollie. We've had a mismatch completely. Get that system in place, and we need to pounce. That is the time to pounce. When Pep and Klopp leave, that is when Manchester United will pounce.
Absolutely.
We have to be ready.
There's a feeling that maybe Mancini might come in as well. That's what the reports are saying. But how do you see the game against Crystal Palace, man? You know what I mean? This is the preview for the Crystal Palace game. You know what I mean? Do you think there'll be, He doesn't have a lot of time to train. He said most of them won't be trained. It's just more mental strength, giving them a lot of
videos and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, video analysis of what they can do and what they can't do. For me, it's going to be intriguing, man, to see how these players kind of, adapt to his philosophy, man. You know what I mean? And it's, can they buy into a lot in the Crystal Palace game? I think you might see players that will drop out. I think you might see Wan-Bissaka back because of the fact that he wanted people that are physically fit rather than kind of who played better in the other game. How do you see it playing out?
I'll be honest, I don't think anyone knows. Like, it was kind of similar, like going into the Arsenal game, we didn't know what Michael Carrick was going to do. We didn't know what formation Michael Carrick was going to play because the first 2 games he played 2 different formations. Under Ralf, who knows? This guy could easily play a back 3, change things up completely, like how Tuchel did when he first came in. So I think right now, like for this Crystal Palace game, my expectations are not high. I expect us to win, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say we're going to see a completely different Manchester United. He's basically like Friday today. Most of the players are probably not training. It might be video footage and stuff. Saturday, the day before the game, is the only real training session that you're going to have. Yeah, so, like people expecting a massive change, and then people social media, people are going to play, oh, you wanted Oli out for this. Just be patient.
Oh, like, exactly. Oh, man.
I see so many of those people as well, man.
That's the biggest one.
Like Crystal Palace as well, it's not an easy game. Like I know the last 2 results haven't.
Without Oli, it's not easy.
Yeah, I know the last 2 results haven't gone their way. I think they lost against Leeds the other day, and I think it was Villa before. Overall, this season, they haven't been losing a lot. We shouldn't say this is a foregone conclusion that we're going to win. Like, if a point is probably like the most realistic thing you could have kind of argued if we're looking at United's form this entire season as well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But at the same time, I still think we'll win, but you just have to be patient with the style of play. That's all I'm saying. Like, I feel like a top red right now. Back the manager.
Well, it'll always be back manager when you start off anyway. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there's no kind of preconception or kind of agenda anyway. You know what I mean? For me, I'm being patient for the rest of the season. A lot of people know my personality. I'm very, very much a person who demands standards. And I'm just in general life. You know what I mean? That I want to keep the best standards possible. And it's like right now, I know this is an investment. This is an investment with Ralf Rangnick, Charlie, and it's something that we have to be patient. This is, players adapted to a new style of play. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it wasn't a style of play. So I was like, I'll just get rid of the manager then. That would be the easiest kind of thing to do. Stop wasting my time, stop wasting everyone's time, and the club just be competent and say, you know what, Ollie, I'm sorry, but you're not fit for purpose. Rather this guy is fit for purpose, but things have to fall in place. Recruitment, players have to be ready to understand. These guys have been failing under a couple of managers now, so we have to be very patient now.
Yeah. Well, the main reason that Ollie, as you said, the lack of style of play. I said to a lot of people, you will not challenge with in order to win this title. You're going to have to hit 90 points. You're going to have to hit 90 points to win the league. And like, if you want to challenge for the title and get 90 points, you have to play on the front football. You have to do it, and you have to have a style and a proper system. You look at Chelsea, Liverpool, and City; they all have it. Big reason why we failed under Ollie, we didn't, and that's what I'll buy into any system Rangnick introduces. I think it will take a long time. Don't get me wrong. I think we could be January time before we really see some sort of patterns of play, and that's fine. But we've got the individual, as we talked about individual brilliance before.
Yeah.
If we keep more clean sheets, we've got the individual quality to go and win games, and that's the big thing under Ollie. Whereas I didn't understand Ollie because Ollie wanted to rely on individual brilliance. He actually said that's what Man United were about. He talked about in the past individual goals, great goals, brilliance from individual players. He actually said that once in an interview. But if you want to rely on individual brilliance, at least make sure you defend. At least make sure you defend as a team. Where at least have some defensive solidity, because it makes sense then, because you concede 0 or 1 goals and you've got the brilliance to score 1 or 2 goals and you'll pick up results. But the whole problem under Ollie was we didn't have defensive structure and we didn't have attacking structure, and that just he literally exactly just counteracted himself. So that's the thing with Rangnick. I'm actually looking forward to some structure, and we've got the individual quality, as he said. If we can keep out goals, we can win games, and that's what football's about. You know, we've got the fixtures. We've got the fixtures on our side. We've got to make use of this time.
Squad depth. Oh my God, that's the biggest thing for me. We shouldn't be tired of that, man. You know, when you look at the players we've got, you know, when you look at the actual players we got Martial's hardly played. We got Lingard who's hardly played. You know, we've got.
I hear that, yeah, but then you can kind of say the match sharpness and all of that, innit?
No, but then you know, the new manager, mate, you're gonna get that match sharpness, mate, because there's no time to waste. You know, what can you say to these players? Right, have got to get the match sharpness up as well, because when you look at it, under a new manager, if you're not clicking straight away and you're not getting yourself act together, you know, okay, you get 2 or 3 games, but in them 2 or 3 games, you have to get to the standard, mate, because if you don't, then the manager can say bye-bye, mate, in January, and that's the level we need to get at now. You know, these guys,
your next opportunity is going to be in January during the FA Cup period.
Yeah, there you go then. You know, and you look at that players like Amad Diallo, you know, Jesse Lingard, Van der Beek, Matic, you know, people. We've got a lot of players, man. You know what I mean? And it's make or break for some of them, innit?
Facts, because the thing is, I've always said this: every single person has an excuse in the squad that we haven't had the coach. Criticize Carrick, the coaching staff, Oli, and the social. Well, you don't have the same thing now. Ralf is a very, very good coach, whether people like it or not. Whether these players like it or not, there's no more excuses for half these players. People are saying Wan-Bissaka, Martial. No more excuses. Everything's going to be given to them now. We can finally judge these players, and we have to see. And another thing I wanted to say as well, yeah, you see on Ralf. Ralf has played quite a couple of different formations, even in the 18-19 season under Leipzig, yeah? When I know top Reds, like people who love Oli, for example, yeah, the first thing they're going to say, oh, look, a new manager comes in, he don't know his style of play, he don't know his philosophy and stuff, he don't know his formation. Like, people are going to say that. But you need to remember, yeah, this guy hasn't seen outside before. This appointment was so brand new in terms of he hasn't really studied United as a whole. He said it, I think he's only seen the last like 3 or 4 games. He's not going to know all these players' weaknesses and strengths. So you have to give the guy time. And someone says that includes Rashford and Bruno. 100%, it includes everyone.
Includes everyone, yeah.
Yeah.
It includes everyone.
We criticised Rashford and Bruno before, even though they got the numbers. Yeah. Now the performances have to match up to the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that they'll do. You know, the performances have to match the numbers, you know. And, you know, it's going to be intriguing, man. You know what I mean? We can't have that first half, Charlie. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. We can't have that first half we had yesterday against Arsenal, especially against Crystal Palace, too. We haven't won in the last 2 seasons, which is crazy, man. I was at the first one. I thought we battered them first half. Sorry, second half. I thought Dan James, when he got the goal, he just peppered their goal, but they went on the other end and scored. I think it was Van Arnold in between the legs of Dan. Yeah. You know, it's gonna be interesting, man, to see as to what we're doing. You know, this season. Sorry for that game. How do you see the game shape in the first half? Have you got any kind of inkling as to what we're gonna do?
Well,
1 second.
You know, Rangnick has talked before about, you know, when we win the ball back, we want to score within 8 seconds. We have a shot within 8 seconds.
We done that yesterday, to be fair, for the Ronaldo.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? With Dalot's fantastic pass from Dalot just around the corner to Rashford and then back to Ronaldo. But like, he wants vertical passing. He's a big talk about vertical passing. So as soon as a midfield player gets the ball, no backward or square passes. It's got to go forward, straight forward. And if I was at the game yesterday, I don't know whether you saw it on the TV because I assume you didn't go to the game. But like Maguire, when Harry Maguire gets the football, he does the same thing every time.
I know. With a stupid little diagonal.
Yeah, and no, but he gets the ball, he turns his head. Oh, there's Victor Lindelof. He passes it sideways. Then Lindelof gets the ball, turns his head back, and it's the same. Rangnick won't allow that. The ball's got to go forward, and there are times in football you have to pass backward or sideways. You have to sometimes. You have to. Right? It's not a problem if you pass sideways to go forwards. That's fine. But when you win the ball back in transition, that's when Rangnick wants the vertical pass. Got to go forward. It's got to go forward. And what I'm interested to see is that our fullbacks, particularly Telles and Dalot, whether he'll start those on Sunday, because he always wants his fullbacks to provide the width, right? Because when he plays the 4-2-2, the 2 more sort of attacking midfield players, they normally pick up sort of like the half spaces, so the space between the centre and the width of the pitch. So it's just those little half spaces. So that's when the fullbacks come in. So that's something we might see, particularly maybe balls into the box for Ronaldo could be an interesting development. Maybe Cavani when he's fit as well. But the thing I'm most looking forward to, I think, is the transition from defence to attack. Because we all know, watching Maguire on the TV, if Man United win the ball back, or McTominay does it, Fred does it at times. When Man United win the ball back, we take 3 or 4 touches before it goes forward again. You know what I mean? It's just so slow. So that's what I'm looking forward to: fast attacking football.
Well, you start, man. What are you looking forward to? What for you needs to change tomorrow? Is there anything that needs to change for you? You know, do you reckon the McFred thing's gone, or I wouldn't be surprised if McFred, still stays there for a little bit while, just because he needs to understand the fluidity and what works and what doesn't work. What do you think he might do?
I think I said it's against Crystal Palace. I don't expect a lot. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's McFred again in it. But I think going forward, the midfield is definitely going to change. I think someone like Donny van der Beek, you're going to see him play a lot more, especially deeper. You could even see Nemanja Matic, for example, get a lot more minutes. But against Crystal Palace, let's be honest, he's not a miracle worker. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Like, people are gonna straight away expect change straight away. Don't. Just like, even for example with Tuchel, I've already said this. You see Tuchel, he went with back 3. Some of the Chelsea players were comfortable because they played the back 3 under Conte. They play a possession style football at times. They were comfortable because they did that under Sarri. So Tuchel kind of just brought everything together. Rangnick is coming into a complete mess in terms of styles of playing under the previous managers. They're all completely different. So that's what I'm saying. Patience.
Patience is key, man. Patience is key for me. You know what I mean? And that's the feeling. What will happen? Charlie. Patience will be key. Adopt to the new style. Big up to Mesh. Big up to you, bro. Driving back. Give me a quick heads up. Yeah, man. Big up to you, bro. And it's like, someone saying here, Levy saying here, you can't teach Rashford football IQ, but maybe you can, because under Van Gaal, he flourished, didn't he? Under Van Gaal, he was probably, this way he made his name. He was showed, for me, one of his best forms. I know under Ollie he had the goal scoring record, but in terms of intelligence, picking up the ball from dangerous positions, Van Gaal practically made him, to the player he is today. So maybe you might see a different approach from a lot of these players, and fans might think, what, that player wasn't my favorite, but it could be under Ralf Rangnick.
Yeah, definitely. Because as I said before, like, when Rangnick's team win the ball back, he wants it to end up in a shot within like 8-10 seconds. And the big problem that I have with, particularly, I think Rashford, I think everyone gets frustrated with Rashford. He's quite a frustrating player because we all know Marcus Rashford has some talent. We all know Marcus Rashford is a good footballer. But very, very, very many times he just runs into players. He dribbles into players. He just, at times he just makes a lot of wrong decisions. Whereas I personally prefer Martial's decision making. It doesn't mean Martial is overall a better footballer. We could have that debate if you want, but I think Martial's decision making on the ball is better. And people will say, well, Rashford scores more goals, etc. That they're completely different players. But in terms of decision making, when to make the pass, when to shoot, I think I prefer Martial. But that doesn't mean that I hate Rashford. And Twitter, a lot on Twitter with these fans of certain players, it doesn't mean I hate Rashford. I don't hate any Manchester United players. I just prefer one player over another. But there's a really good point you make, Saeed, because under Rangnick, he wants his players to get the ball forward and have a shot straight away. So there'll be no time for trying to dribble in past players. You pass it, you move, you play a vertical pass, and you get a shot off. So I think Rashford could be one to actually benefit a lot from Rangnick.
Yeah, absolutely. What we'll do is we'll get the team news. What should we go for? Should we go for what would Ralf Rangnick do? What do we do? What should we do?
I'll be honest, we have no clue.
Yeah, okay. It's a bit of a lottery, isn't
it? Let's say Ralf Rangnick. What should we do? Ralf Rangnick's 11 or you guys are 11? Let me know in the comments. By the way, people, 600 of you here. Please smash like on the video. You know what I mean? Big up to everybody who's tuning in. You know what I mean? You could be doing a lot on a Friday night, but big up to you for watching us and supporting us as always. You know what I mean? So what do you want us to do? Nobody knows what's going to happen. Yeah, it's true. You know what I mean? So you know what? We'll just we'll freestyle it. Let's think what will happen. Yeah, we can't use that word anymore. No more freestyle word. Well, we use what formation shall we use? By the way, first time in a while, we can actually change the formation, eh? Let's do a 4-2-2. You know what I mean? Where's the 4-2-2? Oh, there isn't. Oh, there it is, yeah. Cool.
Oh, mixing it up a bit. Here we go.
Yeah, man, a bit of tactical genius going on here, mate. You know what I mean?
Saeed's so gas right now.
I can change the formation. Fact, I've been using this for about a year now. This website, still not sponsoring me, but we move. And 4-2-2. Let's see how that goes, because that will be what Ralf Rangnick kind of does. Statman, right? And Charlie, 4-2-2.
Well, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I think 4-3-3 as well. He also played a 3-5-2 at Leipzig before. He's used that before, but I think he'll probably go with a 4-2-2.
Yeah,
I think he will play with that.
You know what? Let's go with our 11 that Ralf Rangnick would thrive under. Let's just make it interesting. So who would he have, De Gea or Henderson for you?
I feel like for right now, I feel like right now we'll just play it safe with David here, innit?
Yeah, I think.
And then maybe let's see what happens during the FA Cup period when Dean Henderson comes in, if he can still perform to a high enough level.
Because Dean Henderson on the ball is better than David De Gea, and that is a key part in the modern day era now, to be good with the feet and distribution as well. What do you call it? Yeah, sorry, mate. Did I say 4-2-2? Yeah, 4-2-2-2. Yeah, that's right.
Lots of two.
Yeah, it's 2. Yeah. So right back, I think for us it will be Dalot. Any objections? Or forever hold your?
No, yeah, I think he'll go with Dalot.
What would be your dream back four?
Well, obviously Varane will play. I think he'll go with Varane, Lindelof, and
we're doing our dream one. We're doing our dream one. We'll leave the other one. We'll do our dream 11 for Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? If Varane was,
are we going for okay. Are we going for the Palace lineup then, or are we going for the best team we can pick?
Yeah, we'll just make it interesting, because someone said in the comments we don't know what he's going to do, so we'll just leave it. So we'll just make our team that would be our best team possible to play in this 4-2-2-2.
What are you saying, Statman? I'm going Lindelof and Varane.
Oh, are we including Varane in this?
Yeah, we include Varane in this.
Yeah. Then it's definitely Lindelof and Varane. I said this before. I done a video on this. Yeah, I think Lindelof could thrive on the Ralf. And let's be honest, this season, Lindelof hasn't really put a foot wrong. Yesterday, again, he was brilliant. I don't think he deserves to be dropped.
Agreed.
Let me know in your comments below, people. Bailly or Lindelof? Obviously, Varane's is going in there, but let me know.
Bailly's a fan favourite, so a lot of people say Bailly in it.
Sorry, let me put Varane in there. But what would you do, Varane or Lindelof?
I'm actually not a great fan of Bailly. I think he's too. But I don't think he'll play Bailly. I think he's too rash. I don't think he'll play. I think he'll play Lindelof.
Right, we'll go with Lindelof then. Lindelof was the.
Saeed didn't mention his guy yet.
Listen, man, it is what it is. But yeah, Maguire. No, we don't mention Maguire anymore, man. It is. Tellers for me. I would pick. What do you guys tell us? Sure.
Tellers.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Tellers. Good. Yeah.
Dream 2 in midfield. Dream 2 for me. It would be. I still think it can work. Donny van de Beek and Fred. I don't know about you guys.
That's what I think will happen as well. I think Fred. I think everyone thinks Fred's going to excel on the Ralf, innit?
Yeah.
And then Donny van de Beek, if they're talking about a controller in there, he can do that in terms of his passing ability. He's decent. Yeah.
Let me know in the comments as well. What would be your two? In the midfield, Donny and Fred. Yeah, Van der Beek and Fred. Let me know, guys. By the way, keep liking the video, people. Van der Beek and Fred. Yeah, that's it. It's unanimous decision on that one. 2 in their midfield. What would it be in just above them? For me, I think it would be Sancho and Bruno on the left, or Sancho on the right, or Bruno on the right, Sancho on the left. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'd be Bruno. I think it'd be Bruno on the. Bruno and Sancho. I think because I think Bruno would actually suit that role quite well.
Yeah.
But you've also got Pogba as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, shit. Yeah. I forgot about that. Still, this is why it's so interesting.
You don't think Bruno? You think Bruno could play up front under Ralf?
Well, yeah, he could do because I think at Leipzig when they had Poulsen and Werner up front, one of them dropped and one of them went in behind. And we know Bruno likes to sit in that false nine position, so he could be the one that drops a little bit.
Right then, we'll do that.
Because I'll be honest here, you see someone like Jesse, I could see Jesse playing quite a lot on the Ralf.
Yeah,
especially for the start, because in terms of the fitness levels, Lingard's ahead of everyone.
Yeah,
his footballing IQ's there, fitness is there. I think he could excel.
Yeah, you know what? This is a scary team, man.
But I don't think Ronaldo plays on Sunday, by the way.
No, I'm just saying this will be like the team, and then you have Bruno dropping in there maybe, and then it'll be kind of. I think
it would be Rashford as the pressing forward. Personally, I think he'll play Rashford as sort of the Timo Werner role and with Leipzig. I think that's what it'll do.
It's a bold decision, man. We're gonna.
You don't think Timo Werner's movement is better than Rashford, though?
Sorry.
I think Timo Werner's movement is better than Marcus Rashford's.
No, that is true. That is true. I just think in terms of similarity, because we talked about he's going to need time. He's going to need time. What he will probably go with is he'll try and use players just for now that are similar to the one they use at Leipzig. And I think Rashford is the closest player we'd have to Werner, isn't he? If you think about his attributes, he's probably the closest. Martial's
crazy. No Rashford, no Martial, no Greenwood, and still that team is unbelievable. Still, it's crazy. It's crazy. Right, I'm gonna have to wrap up because I've got to go on the big six, which is any minute now. But we move. Prediction for me, I'm gonna go with United to win 2-1. Get your predictions as well in the comments as well.
What are you gonna say, Charlie?
Well, I'm going to make a very bold claim here. 4-0 FC is going to return on Sunday. 4-0 United. FC.
Statman.
And 2-1's like the safe thing that everyone goes with, isn't it? I was going to go with 2-1.
Yeah.
But I'll probably, you know what, let's have a clean sheet in here. 2-0.
2-0. Sound. Let us know in your comments, people, before we wrap up. 3-0, 3-1. Look at that, man. Everyone's positive. 4-1. Get in there, man. That's what we love to see, man. 3-1. Everyone positive. People, we're going to wrap it up here. Please, guys, if you haven't liked the video already, please smash it right now, people. So right now, smash like on the video. Make sure you go follow these guys, man. I'm going to put their handle right there. So Charlie, Fredman, Chazza on Twitter, and Statman Baines, which he's put Factos there. You know what I mean? There's no Ronaldo. Factos. But for now, people, like the video. I'll be back Sunday, I'm going to literally go to London, straight to Old Trafford, and I'm going to be a Londoner. You know what I mean? What's wrong with travelling to games, You know what I mean? I'm not a local anymore. I'm travelling, man. You know what I mean? I'm a Londoner now. But anyway, people, we're going to wrap it up here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye, and peace.